Hello and welcome to the fifth edition of the 343 podcast by India Spurs. I'm now joined today by Shayan and Shekhar from Kolkata Spurs, and I'm Vedant Nath from Hyderabad Spurs. After a long stretch of games, what has been cancelled for us with Leicester, Burnley, Brighton postponed, we're finally back with football and the Liverpool game. So, Shayan and Shekhar, how are you feeling with football being back?
I would say it's amazing. Back after a long vacation, I would say, from football. So we really missed the Premier League. We really missed football as a game. So now, yes, again, kind of a fresh start, we can say. Not sure how far we will be going with these current conditions, but yeah, at least kind of a refreshment.
Yeah, really, after a long time, we got to watch some high quality football, and yeah, it's a nice feeling as well.
Yes, welcoming back football was exclusive. We were one of the few teams to play on that weekend, and it feels amazing, especially against Liverpool with the improved team we had and the influence that Antonio Conte has brought to this club. And all of the players that we have transformed into his men, which is absolutely buzzing to look at. So, कैसे लग रहा है? Like, what do you think was the influence on Conte on the players? Like, what was the squad's enigma for the game against Liverpool?
I would say it's, the Conte magic that we used to see when he was at Chelsea. And I won't talk about Chelsea here. The real Antonio Conte and the Conte effect that we talk about when he was at Inter as well, that we are gradually starting to see even in players like Harry Winks, Dele Alli, and even Davinson Sanchez. So yes, we are gradually shaping up in the way Conte wants us to play. And yes, this is a very good sign. And I would say that this is one of the most exciting matches that the season has ended so far.
Yes, and the way our players were showing confidence on the pitch, it was a really nice thing to see, especially because earlier, before Conte arrived to our club, the level of confidence in our players was usually very low, and the efforts that our players are putting up, the kind of performances that they are delivering nowadays is really it's amazing to see. I like it a lot.
So, are we going to take the draw, or what's the case? Like, are we going to take it like a good draw, or it's something super disappointing? What do you guys think, draw or not? Like, are you satisfied with the game's result?
I would say I am a bit disappointed with the draw, but we have to see the brighter side of this match because Liverpool currently are the second best team in this at the Premier League. We are, facing them toe to toe, or we are, playing them toe to toe. We outran them by 7 to 9 kilometers, which is a very good, achievement, I would say. And finally, coming up with a draw with such an informed Liverpool team, yes, it must be a commendable task, especially with, five of our first team players out due to COVID. Yes, I would say it's a commendable task.
And I think that the game was not disappointing, but it was really frustrating because I think we deserved the win. If not deserved, I think we should have gone for the win somehow. We missed a lot of opportunities as well, but yeah, the performances by the players were amazing. The Hugo Lloris, who was so quick off his line, made a number of stops, including a save with his feet to keep out Trent. Sanchez made a superb tackle to deny Sadio Mane at 1-0 score. Then Eric Dyer, he looks very comfortable in the back three. Ben Davies, he kept Mo Salah very quiet. We have improved our defense, but we need to work more.
So, Shekhar, do you think we could have won the game if there was a little more fair play involved? So obviously, we've seen Salah's handball, Robertson's mischievous appeal towards Kane not getting a red card, and then we also have Robertson getting a red card after that. So what do you think? What's the overall situation? I mean, let's not forget Dele Alli almost getting a penalty, and one of their players, I think Jota, getting a penalty. Lots of situations that game. Let's focus on two for now: Robertson red card and Harry Kane's mean tackle. What do you think was the influence on these two incidents on the game?
To be very honest, I think it was neutralized both the ways. It was fair game overall because I think the Jota penalty should have been awarded. If I were the referee, I would have definitely awarded. I think it was a deliberate foul. So I would have awarded that penalty, and also Harry Kane could have been awarded the red card. I won't say he should have been awarded, but he could have been awarded because that tackle was really reckless. Those kinds of tackles can really they can threaten up a player's career. So it could have been awarded, as some commentators and analysts were saying. But also we too missed some chances. Dele Alli in the box, and the handballs, as you mentioned. So it was, I think, kind of neutralized in the end, and those were not the defining moments in the game, according to me.
I would like to differ a bit from Shekhar. Um, the Hurricanes tackle, I agree, was a bit reckless, but it was not to be red carded. And I would support what referee has given, that is a yellow card. Talking about Jota's one, yes, I agree that Jota's foul could have been given a penalty, but on the other side, you have to see Dele Alli has been not given a penalty, so it's a square out again. Talking about the foul that Robertson did, I would say that's much more horrifying than what Harry Kane did. I mean, it was completely deliberate as we saw. I mean, the Hurricanes foul we can still consider as some kind of a slight tackle to get the ball, but Robertson foul was nowhere near the ball, and it completely seemed that he did it out of frustration.
We know this Robertson character, man. This Robbo, he has something called little man syndrome. I would call. He's just got like so much anger for no reason. We've seen him like go up head to head against Leo Messi. We've seen him start bullying the best players he plays against in the Champions League, and always comes with lots of shithousery. So, being on Robertson's part, he's just a player with lots of ego or something what I would call little man syndrome at this point. Another incident that you guys didn't talk about was Salah's handball leading up to the first goal. Obviously, if that happened, we would have won 1-0 maybe. But moving on to the players, the best performer of the game, man of the match for you guys. Who is it?
Before moving on to man of the match, I would like to, say a few words about the Salah's penalty. So Salah's
Sure.
handball, in fact. So I mean, we all know Liverpool are a team who likes to cry a lot, right? And considering that, the penalty or the handball which was given by or which was done by Salah was not given as a penalty. I mean, it clearly defines, the name that we tag to Liverpool as Liverpool. So it's Liverpool, right? So it clearly defines what Liverpool is meant for. I mean, meant for. So I mean, I'm not really surprised with that. Okay, so it's all justifiable in that way.
And obviously, we know Klopp's major list of excuses. When he started the interview, he said, "There's his hand sanitizer missing." Okay, fine, valid point, mate. But you also talked about the wind coming from all sides in previous match interviews. So Liverpool, yes, crying because Vardy support them one game. Sure, I guess. Yeah, let's see. That's Liverpool for us. Okay, players now. Best player for you guys. Man of the match once again. Who was it?
Yeah, so according to me, it should be Harry Winks. Even though Kane scored a goal, it's fine, but still Harry Winks because he displayed a really encouraging game, suggesting that he could have a future at Spurs now, it seems, and made the equalizer, having already created 2 fine chances for Son with passes in behind. He was very tight in his position, made no mistakes, very few mistakes in the game, and combative at the base of midfield, winning a tackle in the build-up to Kane's goal as well. So I think Harry Winks is the man of match for me.
For me, I would agree that Harry Winks was the man of the match, but if we see it from a different side, I would also say Eric Dyer. Because Eric Dyer, I mean, that match, Eric Dyer showed like what he is really meant for. A complete, monster in the defense, and the exact type of work which Virgil van Dijk used to do for Liverpool. The same thing I have seen Eric Dyer doing for Tottenham in the previous match, and it was an absolutely commendable task. He was a complete pillar in front of the defense. Yes, who was well supported by Davinson Sanchez and Ben Davis, that's for sure. But yes, Eric Dyer was one of the best players, or one of the standout players for the entire match. Especially if you see that pass to Dele Alli. I mean, I will come to Dele Alli after some time, but that pass to Dele Alli, it was really nice. I mean, I was a very big fan for that. It's completely missing,
Yeah,
especially from the.
it got us all on our heads, right? We were just going mad. It was insane. Matlab, Harry Winks, amazing player. What a guy. Ben Davis, also commendable job. You added him to the center Spheric Tire. He pocketed Salah. And Sessegnon also played very well. Two players who've like totally turned the tables for perspective of Tottenham fans. It's Sessegnon, Winks, and Dele Alli. These guys
Yes.
have like really changed a
Yes.
little bit of a perspective. Now, man, guys, my only psychology is, hi, whatever Conte is doing, let's just back him. I don't want to do anything. Like, more I think about it, and I just feel bad about myself because I've been talking about these players, just like how Dele Alli went post-match and liked the comments of the people who hated on him. Similarly, now, if Conte believes in them, we've got to believe in them. So yeah, that's about the players. Any things to add on, Sayan, Shekhar?
Yeah, I would like to add to the performance that Harry Kane showed. He took his goal brilliantly, but finished the match with a lot of missed chances. Somewhere unlucky and somewhere careless too. A goal against a top opponent like Liverpool was a step forward, but it still feels like he's not sharp. As we know, Harry is not the same Harry now. He needs to improve. He really needs to improve. But the goal that he got yesterday, the previous match, it should give him confidence.
I would like to add to Dele Alli that yes, this was the match. I mean, which was a make or break for him, I think, because with many people or many midfielders out due to COVID, this was his grand chance, and he rightfully took the proper advantage of it, and he showed a really good and promising performance. Yes, there are a lot of areas which he needs to improve, but that old Dele Alli, which I mean, he who was on top of the defense, or basically just having shoulder to shoulder with the defense and getting that chance and making forward runs to get that long through balls from the defenders. I mean, that Dele Alli, I mean, I really was missing for so long and days, or so many days, and we finally saw the Dele Alli in this Liverpool match. So yes, I mean, I would say Dele Alli was one of the breakout performers for the last match.
We could call it the ketchup effect, the mayonnaise effect. It's a bloody multiverse out there at Tottenham. We could talk about like how interesting fact to leave the viewers with the ending this players conversation is that Harry Winks made the most forward passes in the game against Liverpool, which is standing at 24. Harry Winks and Tottenham are in a complete different universe. Okay.
Yeah, and considering the fact that we used to joke about Harry Winks passing backwards, and now that he's making such kind of forward passes, it's really amazing. So,
Shaker, hear me out, man. It's the ketchup effect. Okay, so let's talk about the game against West Ham. When we're filming this right now, it's 22nd. At 23rd night, Indian time, 1:15 a.m. kickoff. We're playing West Ham United in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal. Guys, thoughts on who would be making it to the lineup, and results, predictions.
West Ham really put up a good performance when they beat them 3-2. But I think that we can still beat them easily. If not easily, we should be comfortable in beating them. But still, they are a risky side. They will be putting up a strong fight against us as well.
Okay, so West Ham, all right. So David Moyes plays very good football at this point of time. I don't think. I think West Ham did not play this weekend. They played a little while ago. They got thrashed by Arsenal. So when Arsenal is beating a team, obviously Arsenal beat us. I know, but I think we should be able to defeat our London rival. I am going with like a 3-1 win for Tottenham to go ahead in the Carabao Cup and maybe reach the final again and lose to Man City. With Man City's out this time, so we have a chance of winning. All hopes are up. Ryan, your predictions?
I would say, only that I want to see GLC play now. Let's see how GLC plays. And this is one of the perfect chances for him to get into the first team. GLC, Doherty, and Tanganga, these three players I'm really expecting to see today. Well, it's a big game. I won't rule out any chances because as we all know, it's a derby, and especially West Ham, who are meant to create disappointment, and they are really playing well this season. But yeah, we are I would say we are equally good, or if not, we are better than them. So yeah, it would be a nice match again, just like the Liverpool match, and it would be an entertaining game. That's all I can say. No predictions from my end.
I personally want Conte to start a strong lineup against West Ham because after we bowed out of UECL, this is a trophy, this is a cup that we can fancy our chances on. I really want us to start a strong lineup and play the way we did against Liverpool. And my predictions would be, I don't know, maybe 2-1 in favor of Tottenham.
So everybody, we've got West Ham at home at 1:15 a.m. kickoff Indian time. I'm going with a 3-1 win. Sayan has no predictions, and Shaker says it's going to be 2-something for in Tottenham's favor. Basically, I think we're going to win. Conte ball is going to be there rocking. solid. Højbjerg will be back. GLC will be back. And Sayan wants to see GLC preferably. So let's see how it goes.
Absolutely.
All right. So that was about it. And that was the end of the 5th episode of the Indus Spurs podcast. The 3-4-3 podcast now comes to an end. I will see you after the game with West Ham. Thank you so much for joining us.
Come on, you Spurs.